Today we have with us Jared from GolfN. Welcome to the show, Jared.
Thank you. I appreciate you having me.
Awesome. I'm going to leave it to you to give an intro about yourself and what GolfN is. But for people who are watching, this is part of our series we're doing where we're profiling apps with real world use cases that are built on Solana. And one thing I had a few people separately recommend GolfN to me. One thing I thought was really cool is that it it really does tie back to the real world in a way that many apps that use crypto or Web3 tech on the back end, in my view, don't. So I thought that was really interesting. I'm really excited to hear what you guys are building.
Yeah, I appreciate that. That honestly was where we sort of started with golfing, and when we started ideating 2 years ago, we've been working on this for 2 years. It was, can we find a way to do this where the first experience isn't write down this 16-word seed phrase? Because if not, this conversation stops here. There's just a certain part of this which is, tantamount to a consumer app. And I think things have gotten better over the last 2 years too. And I know that's not the question you asked, but it's funny because finding that way to what you said to make it just feel like an app that runs on crypto rails was kind of where we started and then built from there. But yeah, so Jared Phillips, I'm the CEO and one of the co-founders here at GolfN. I have been in crypto since 2018, a little bit, and then 2019 full on, and lived through Ethereum's coming up, on-chain trading, DeFi summer, went on everything you could imagine. Binance Smart Chain, I was on Hecko back when that was coming up in China. Like, hey, you name it, I was there.
Wow, me too.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. All right. Here we go. So we got a couple
Yeah,
of
that's how this channel got started.
them. And really, I fell in love with crypto. Not really. I mean, I'll be honest. When I started, I was just like, "Oh, this is cool. Like a fun place to trade," and like we'll see. And every time something new came out and went down the rabbit hole, I think like most people do, where it's like this, in theory, is exactly what I want this to represent. And then started investing, started writing checks for projects, and really getting deeply on chain to where eventually you're in this space long enough and you go from being someone who's investing and kind of looking on the outside to moving to the inside and going, I think there's something with the knowledge that I've gained that I could build something to fit a product market need for the real world. And that's kind of the story of me leading up to golfing. That concept, and I have no problem saying this, and I've told Kalos at Parallel, and I've told this on other interview requests, was functionally a very simple idea at Advent, Patrick, which was we really respected Parallel and how they did collectors and how they made their economy work. We really loved what StepN did and how they made it a worldwide phenomenon. And me and my founders are all absolute golf degenerates. And we went, look, okay, if we could pull these three things together, what would that look like? And I don't know, Patrick, are you a golfer?
A little bit. I just got clubs, so I'm trying to get into it actually. So this is
Welcome.
good
Oh
timing.
man, I tell you what, let's touch back in a year or two, and you're going to be like, it now is a part of that defines my life. But but there's these apps in this space. They're called digital caddy apps, and I just full disclosure have been a absolute golf nerd my entire life. Like this started from when I was 10, going golfing with my dad and my brother and my grandfather. And then my first job was at a golf course. And then that's the only way I could afford it. I grew up pretty poor. And it's like when you work at a golf course, you can play for free. I couldn't afford it. I went and started scrubbing golf carts to be able to play. And then when new tech comes out in golf, I'm always there. I want to see what's happening. I want to try to get better. And that's just like the way golfers are, right? Well, there's this segment inside of golf called digital caddy apps like Arcos, 18 Birdies, the Grin. I don't know if you've heard of those. But they have like this game assistance aspect where you get like insights into your own game. How far did you hit that shot? What are your strokes gained? If you were a pro, what would they have done? Like those sorts of things, which when they came out 10 years ago, like blew my mind. And then since then, there's now 20 new entrants, and they all kind of do the same thing to where like those cool things are all table stakes. And we went, okay, if those are table stakes, what if we built something that 40 million people around the world use and spend money for? Let's make the base layer experience free. Let's give it away. Let's literally say, why pay someone else? You can get this for free. And not only that, the more you use it, we'll gamify it, we'll make it fun, and you can earn while you're doing it. And we can do in-game power-ups and work in NFTs. And that's how this whole idea came together for golfing.
Interesting. I like the way you guys are approaching it. Just sort of at a high level, though, what exactly is the app used for? What does it do?
Yeah, so the simple way to put it is a digital caddy app where while you're playing, and I can show it, I'll pull it up and kind of give an example of what it looks like. You can, if you're playing a course, you get a beautiful 3D rendered view of the hole you're playing. You can see how far is it for me to go over that bunker, or how long would it be where I'd hit it in the water. You put in your distances, it tells you what club to hit. You put in your scores on a per hole basis. It says what your handicap would be, or gives you insights into like, hey, you hit the ball out of bounds a lot. These are the areas you can improve. So it's like a game improvement type thing. But what it actually, that was the idea when they all started, but what it's become is like this like history of your golf game, right? Like I played here and I can go back and see the shots that I hit, and I can connect with friends and do social. So that's what the core category does. But what we're doing is going one or two steps further than that. If you know Strava, if you know
Oh
Pokemon
yeah.
Go, okay? So like we built the digital caddy into this as the base level, are giving it away. But then we built in the community rated or community type aspects of Strava and off course gamification, which no one in golf has ever done. Like we are truly a first mover advantage. I was interviewed by some very major golf publications in the last couple of days that are going, this is actually something new in golf, because
Wow.
right now it's only when you're on course from the first tee to the 18th green. But on the GolfN app, it's your obsession in an app. If you go to the US Open next month and you have the GolfN app on your phone, when you walk through the gates of the US Open, it's going to say, hey, Patrick, looks like you're attending the US Open. Do you want to check in and earn? And now a list of challenges come up, and you're taking pictures of this and trying to get a picture of Bryson DeChambeau there and the leaderboard. And we're pulling this whole immersive experience together and just creating a really fun experience for golfers around the world.
Oh, interesting. And then how does the blockchain or crypto aspect fit into it?
Yeah, so think of it like this, and this is like the elevator pitch for how this all comes together, and I think it'll make sense. Then I'll get into the blockchain. So it's like if like Chase Sapphire rewards met Strava, met Pokemon Go, right? The more you do inside of it, the more you earn. You don't have to pay anything inside of my app to earn. You do that at a base level for free. We don't feature gate anything either. So, like all the things I talked about, nothing hides behind a paywall, which is what every other golf app in the world does. You can spend money inside my app to make you earn faster, but I also pay for a Chase Sapphire Reserve card for $500 a year because the points are crazier there, right? It's like the
Hmm.
same concept that we're kind of getting at here. And so the crypto aspect are twofold. One, when you decide to spend money to earn power ups inside of the ecosystem, what's actually happening there is you are renting NFTs from NFT holders inside of our collection. So you get random selection, and I got this rare driver, this epic iron, this legendary putter, and that makes you earn slightly differently. And the person who owns that NFT actually gets a percentage of those earnings when they go happen. Okay, so
Oh,
there's
interesting.
yeah, so it's like a circular economy. And then
Hmm.
the points that you're earning are points inside of my ecosystem, but backed by our foundational partner, the Axiom Foundation, not Axiom like everyone else knows. We were there first, by the way. But the Axiom Foundation is putting out the golf token, which is not that far away, and everything inside of the point ecosystem can be converted to a golf token, and the golf token, and vice versa. But think of that more as like tokenized, transparent rewards on the blockchain, where people that are in Web 2 will earn these points and they go into our marketplace and they can redeem for their new driver or clubs or apparel, whatever it may be. And they can click transaction and execute it. Stuff shows up at their house. What's happening in the background is the points are being converted to tokens, they're being allocated to the right party, and then the game's kind of over. So it's providing
Oh,
this transparency for the rewards aspect, and then
mhm.
building this economy around the NFTs as well.
Interesting. And then what are the tokens sinks for? I know the point of this isn't to talk about the token, but since it sounds like that it's an important part of the economy, what are the sinks for the golf token, like to keep this supply from just ballooning?
Yeah, yeah. Well, there's a couple things. There's no way to earn like meaningful tokens. Actually, there's no way to earn tokens at all if you're not participating in some sort of revenue generating activity inside of Golfin. And here's what
Oh.
I mean by that. Revenue generating activity is not you giving me money. Okay. The engagement you're giving me when you're filling out your data or leaving a course review or checking in and taking pictures is economically valuable to the golf and ecosystem. When you snap those pictures at the US Open, what happens? It goes on our timeline, it goes on our website, it tags that, and now we're getting SEO UGC from our users. You get points for that, right? So, like everything kind of works together where there's a additive value or there's some value creation. It's the anti-step-in model where this isn't a pay once and run it into the ground. You have to continue contributing to the ecosystem to actually get those points. But in terms of syncs, there's all sorts of things. For
Hmm.
our B2B partners, if they want to do specialized targeted promotions for people, how do they do it? Well, they have to use the currency of the ecosystem in order to do that. Memberships and those sort of things are using the currency of the ecosystem as how they're done. We just run a converter so nobody sees it. But then there's other things too, like upgrading your cards or seasonal passes and challenges, boosters. I mean, I could go on and on, but essentially all the things you'd expect from like a Fortnite style play to earn model is what we've built into this. Like no one has to spend money inside of Fortnite, but 73% of people do.
Hmm. Yeah, no, that makes a lot of sense. Um, that makes a lot of sense. You're using it in the sort of way that tokens are intended to be to bootstrap a marketplace.
That's
Solves
right.
the chicken and egg problem.
It does.
But by the way, to your example earlier, I actually had been to the U.S. Open at in Marion. I worked
Oh, sweet.
security there when I worked security there when I was 18.
No
So
kidding.
yeah, so that's my so I went to every single day of it actually because I was working security there.
So yeah, practice rounds all the way through the weekend. That's great.
Yeah, I was there for I forget however long, but the whole duration they were there. Fun time.
6 days. Yeah, they
Yeah.
have the coolest flag sticks in golf.
Oh yeah, the baskets.
The baskets, yeah, those are so unique. I love it.
Um, awesome. So yeah, why don't we get into the app a little then and show people
Sure.
what it's about?
All right, so you said let's get into the app. Yeah, let's do it. So I'm sharing my actual screen here from my phone. This isn't a mock environment. This is the actual app. We actually just submitted to the App Store yesterday, so May 22nd. I don't know how long this usually comes out afterwards. So hopefully by the time people see this, depending on how good your editors are, it's on the App Store. And we can give you a link for people to go check it out. But this is the basis of the app. There's a homepage, Golf Better. There's a learning center in here that can teach you about how everything operates together. There are social feeds in here. When your friends tee off, you're going to see notifications. You can follow along. This is like a mock one I did yesterday, and we were testing a few features inside of the app itself. You can see how much you're earning. You can see the scores. When you actually like somebody's post and you're playing, you see like hearts flutter across the screen. It gives you this like social engagement aspect of the app itself. But I think the fun thing that will be easier for people to understand is I'll go to my club here. We'll go to Sand Creek. And this is like the fun aspect, I feel. I'll kind of erase this. And by the way, this is the test environment, but it is how the functionality works. So I'm not taking real points off the ecosystem. So let's say I have a diamond membership and I'm going to play. I usually play from the blue tees because I'm not tips level good. And I say, okay, I'm going to go and play around a golf. Well, I'm currently spinning, and this is randomly selecting 3 NFTs from owners inside of our ecosystem. So that's tracked on the back end. These are the NFTs I got. You see my points are changed. There's a rented, there's an activity log for everything. I go to start my round, and this is what a digital caddy has looked like traditionally. You go to play, and look, I'm getting insights into the hole I'm about to play. I have to spoof my location, which is why we're in the testing environment, or else I couldn't do this. And if it lets me, there we go. We start playing. And look, I get these insights. How far is it for me to cover this bunker? 263 yards. What club should I hit? I should hit driver. Let's say I actually do that. It's always hard to grab with a mouse versus my finger. I hit the ball here because I channeled my inner Bryson DeChambeau. I want to try to look at the distance to the hole. Okay, it's 169. I should hit my 7-iron, but it's 157 to the front. It's 177 to the back. So you see, you're like kind of getting these shot recommendations as you go. And this is, like I said, a lot of these apps that currently exist in this space, Patrick, charge between $50 and $200 a year for what I'm showing you right now.
Wow.
And 40 million people use them
And you guys are giving it away for free.
for free. Because in my view, and I'm one of these people, this kind of pulls this into focus. Like, I've used all these apps. Again, told you, total tech nerd, total golf nerd. I wanted to be like, maybe this is the piece that makes me Tiger Woods. Like, it is not. You're just bad at golf, right? Like, you always are trying to like get a little bit better. Well, here's the thing: they charge you $50 to $200 a year, and guess what? You're paying for the right for them to take your information and monetize it. They're monetizing your data too. Okay. So how are we doing this? Yeah, it's not to say that we're not going to do similar things, but we're not going to charge you to do it. And when there's that, we're both going to share in it together. It just feels like a more Web3 type thing to do, right?
Yeah. So the difference, so it's free. And then also they get the points rewards in
That's
exchange for
right.
the revenue generating activity, which is their data in many
You
cases.
got it. You got it.
Got it.
You got it. So, and again, not to mention, like, these things are very, very helpful. It's fun to use. It's fun to play. I finished this hole. Let's say I hit it really, really close. I had a par, hit the fairway, hit the green. That never happens for me. 2 putts. Here we go. We move on. Look, hole by hole, if this thing catches up. And I can snap to the next hole here. And look what happened in the top left corner. When I get to the next hole, I just earned 441 points for completing that first hole, and that goes into our ecosystem. So you earn as you go. You see that progression. And what's really interesting here, Patrick, about the whole Strava and Pokemon Go aspect is we have 500 people that have been testing this in alpha. And the behavior rates for people putting in their advanced stats and scores, it's like 99.8% of people are doing it because when you do, you earn points. Well, there's no reason to do that in the apps right now. Maybe you want to see a distance, but you don't feel like putting it in. Like, there's not a lot of incentive to do so, right? Well, now there is. Same
So you
thing
have
with
higher quality data than the other
higher
apps as well.
quality data, higher quality data. Not
Interesting.
only that, like, inside of the app itself, you want to fill out your bag. Well, every single app asks you to do this, but one, it's not a great experience, and two, it takes a while. Well, one, we build a great onboarding tool, but two, like, we're going to give you an opportunity to earn every 3 months by updating your bag and proving that you did something, and we're going to pay you to do it. Now there's a reason to actually fill out your bag and tell me, like, are you using the new ZXI iron from Srixon? Like, now what do you think about it? Now here's more opportunities to do so. And so it's kind of giving that engagement piece for what, in my view, crypto should be. Crypto is not the feature, okay? The fact that this has a blockchain element isn't why we're successful, isn't why we're going to be successful. We're a golf company built by crypto people that are using it in the way that it's intended. I'm sorry for all the other founders out there. If the feature is you were built on blockchain, you're going to fail. I'll see you when you find a better mousetrap. There is no way for you to get mass adoption if the only thing that's unique about you is the blockchain.
100%. 100%. I mean, I'm seeing how all the pieces fit together. The data, the golf, the monetization, all of that.
Absolutely. And then look, you finish around. I'll just skip to the end here. Actually, yeah, this is fine. I finish. It goes on my feed. People can interact with it. I get here's how many points you earn because I only finished one hole. If you don't finish more, you don't earn more, right? And that's okay. You leave these reviews. Well, like, everybody asks for this, but there's no reason to do it. But I had a great time at Sand Creek. Marsh always kicks my behind. Like, whatever. I put this in here and I submit it. Well, I did this and now I got points for it. Okay. I earned a little bit. And like, what are we doing with that? It's a UGC. And now that flows to our website where it's like, hey, Jared played Sand Creek today. Here's what he said about it. If conditions are different, it all comes for. Every other app asks you for these things, but there's no reason to actually do it. Right? It's like, okay, I'm just doing this out of goodness of my heart for you.
Yeah.
You starting to see what we're doing here?
Yeah. Yeah. No, it's making sense insofar as people are interested in how crypto fits into it. The token is the incentive to bootstrap that marketplace, or
Correct.
the
Correct.
points bootstrap the marketplace, but the points are ultimately in the back end flowing through the
Yeah,
token.
yeah, and we spend a significant amount of time actually going through the right legal channels and setting this up the right way, and, like, this is a great example of that. We've been doing giveaways for our collectors where this actually just happened. We just did a big content piece on this where we sent somebody to Northern Ireland for 9 days to play 7 of the top-rated golf courses in the world, including 2 of the top 5, Royal County Downs and Royal Portrush. This is the test environment, so you don't see the full entries. There was over 650,000 entries into this giveaway for people trying to win it. So you talk about token sinks and things. Well, you go, well, somebody could just pay for that. That's a lot of points that went into trying to win that individual contest. Yeah, but here's the thing: you can't even buy that trip. Like, you need to have connections to be able to
Wow.
get that trip. And so it's like, every golfer would want it. No one wants to spend the $25,000 to get it because that's how much it costs. But if I want it, I would love it. And it goes beyond like the base level, like how much did it cost? Same thing with this. It's a $4,000 bottle of Pappy Van Winkle. I don't know if you're a bourbon guy, but like, it's a great bottle. I would love to have one. I definitely don't want to spend the money on it, but if I could throw some in and maybe win it, like that, now I'm interested. And so finding these experiences and these things that like are very close to the heart of like who we know our core audience is. Now you're going, what are the juxtapositions inside of this marketplace? I can pay someone $50 to $200 a year to only get access into my own stats, and that's it. And they're going to monetize my data, and I feel nothing of it. Or I can go here, get things for free, potentially win stuff, redeem for items inside their marketplace, enter into lifetime once in a lifetime sweepstakes, and have a better overall experience. Why would you ever choose column A?
100%. I'm actually, I have to say, it's completely clicked for me. Listen, listening to some of these things, it's completely clicked for me, and I hope for people watching it has too. How it's actually providing a better experience, and after you get a certain critical mass of users, you should have higher quality data
Absolutely.
because you have the incentive for people to fill out more information. And
It,
data
it,
I understand through my other work outside this channel as well. Um,
Oh, that's great. No, it's and I always say this kind of like jokingly, but and there's kind of a punchline in this, but like the number one most sought after like user segment in the world is not golfers. It's like pregnant women. Like, marketers are always going after pregnant women, right? But like number two is golfers, right? Like, those are people that people want to know more about. The average golfer around the world makes $120,000 a year and spends between 2,500 to $10,000 a year on the game of golf. That's the average,
wow.
okay?
Yeah, and there's a huge upper tail.
It is. It's actually golf participation from 2013 to today is up 50% and rising by 10 to 12% per year.
That doesn't surprise me. I know. I can tell you, I'm 30, and of sort of my age cohort, so many people I know have gotten into golf over the past few years, which is why I just got clubs because
I love it.
we're all doing it,
That's how it
including
happens.
exactly. I mean, including many people who I guess people you might expect, but um, I have know some people, for example, who are like retired professional athletes in
Mhm.
other sports, and then they're saying, okay, I can't do a full contact sport anymore, but I can spend the rest of my life golfing.
For me too, Patrick, like, I love golf for a lot of reasons. I kind of told you my story, but now as I'm closer to 40 than I am 30, right? Like, where can you compete anymore now, right? Like, join a rec league at the Y. Like, I don't even know what you're supposed to do, but at my country club, I play in my tournaments. I have friends. We have games. Like, if you're someone who likes competitiveness, if you want to, you can actually continue getting better as you get older, which is really hard to do in almost anything, right? Like, there's a lot that just starts speaking to people. And the beautiful part of what we're doing, and the thing that I alluded to earlier, is like, remember, every other app is just on course, but like Top Golf and Five Iron and X Golf and these chip and putt places that have come out and these simulator bars, like, that's ignoring all of that. And that's how people are getting into golf now. And so we're
Hmm.
putting this thing in like, hey, go to these places and check in. This is the Pokemon Go aspect we were talking about,
Yeah,
right?
Pokemon Go is huge.
Huge. $10 billion valuation. And They did it with kids who spent less than like $200 a year on anything, and we're doing it with grown people who make
Mhm.
$120,000 a year. One of the most highly sought market segments ever on the best blockchain in the world for consumer apps, meaning Solana. And all we've done for 2 years is execute and exceed people's standards. I'm really excited to see where we are a month from now, 6 weeks from now, 6 months from now, 6 years from now, because I'm very, very bullish on the early results we're seeing.
Mhm. Awesome. Well, it's been really awesome to have you on. I've legitimately learned a lot. For people who are interested in testing it out, when and where can they look?
Yeah. Yeah. So there's two things you should know here. One, just go to golfn.com, GOLFN.com. The opening hero on there will give you a link that'll send you to download the app from the App Store, which is leads me to my second part. It's not that we're not doing Android. It's not that we're not going to be available on Seeker. It's that when you develop an app, as I learned, you got to pick one to begin with, and then you kind of translate over. And just the majority of golfers use Apple products, right? So it'll be on the App Store. Hopefully, by the time this video goes out, I don't know what your turn time is, but if not, shortly thereafter, I'll get you that link to go kind of download it and check it out. As with most Web3 projects, there's huge advantages to getting in, referring people. So that's a little alpha for those who are interested. Getting in, referring your friends will do a lot for you. And then Android will follow not long after.
Awesome. Well, it's been a pleasure, Jared. Good luck with the launch. This video will
Thank
probably
you.
come out around the time you guys go live, and I wish you the best of luck.
Thank you. I appreciate you having me on. It's been a lot of fun.
Take care.